Right, so in today's video, we're finally going to be getting on and giving the bent fescue lawn its first cut. If you've been around on this channel for a while now, you'll know that around about 5 weeks ago, I actually seeded this lawn from scratch with a bent fescue mix. It was previously ryegrass, but as you can see, it's really started to thicken up now. Plants are getting nice and long, and it's definitely time for its first cut. If you just get it right in, you can see there's quite a lot of length now on the lawn, so it's definitely ready to have its first cut. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to mention before I start. It's a little bit early. It's around about 9 AM at time of recording. We had quite a lot of rain. Well, we have had quite a lot of rain over the past few days, and there's a little bit of moisture on the grass blades. However, needs must, unfortunately, today. I've got a stag do to go on, leaving in the next hour. So what I've got to do is take this fence off. I've got to give it a cut because the next few days, I think the next 4 or 5 days after time of recording, we're getting quite a bit of rain, so I want to give it its first cut now. So I just want to nick the tops off the grass plants today. I was going to use a cylinder push mower. My cylinder hasn't arrived yet from Allet, but what I've decided to do instead is I'm just going to get on with the hater. I'm going to start on a highest setting, see how much it takes off. Might have to lower the height just a little bit to see how much it's going to remove. I don't want to go on too low to begin with because I don't want to stress the plant out. But yeah, let's get this fence down. Let's get the mower. Let's give it its first cut. And before anyone says anything as well, sliders completely safe as long as you don't get your toes underneath the actual bed of the lawnmower. So there we go, the lawn has had its first cut. Now, something I didn't mention at the start of this video was that I gave this a feed again on Monday, I think it was. Time of recording, it's a Saturday, so it's had 2 feeds now. And one of the best things about cutting a lawn for the first time is that stripes up really, really nice. Obviously, we're only nicking off those top parts of the grass plants. However, it lies everything nice and flat. It makes the sward look even thicker than it actually is. But you know, it is really, really thick. And I think back to when this was a ryegrass lawn and I cut it for the first time. Obviously, we had some spaces like we do now, which, you know, have a little bit less seeding, but the actual density of the plant so far is absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to sort of seeing what this lawn is looking like, you know, in maybe the next 2, 3, 4 weeks time. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's looking even better than what it is right now. Right, so it's Sunday, the day after we actually gave this lawn its first cut. It's looking really, really nice. But what we are going to do is get on again and give it another feed. Now, I was thinking of doing this later this week. However, like I said in the previous part, I fertilised this lawn last Monday, and at the time of recording, like I said, it's Sunday, so it's been nearly a week, and within that week, we've had a shed ton of rain, and you know, even though the grass has actually benefited and the soil's benefited from the application of lawn feed last week, a lot of that rain's caused lots of nutrients and the goodness to obviously soak through the soil, diluting the product, so to speak. So what we are going to do is get on with a lawn application again today, just to continually feed the actual lawn, because we've got quite a lot of rain again coming this week. So I want to make sure the actual nutrient content of the soil is right up there, because like I've said in previous videos, you know, fertilising lawn is about conditioning the soil. Get your soils right, get your grass right, happy days. So you can see it's raining a little bit now, it's only spitting, so no one's going to die. But we're going to get on around about 750 grams of this lawn feed, because you can put anywhere from like 25 50 grams per square metre on. I've been on twice now at 50 grams per square metre. I'm going to get on at 25 this time, just to, like I said, give it a sort of like a light feed compared to anything too much. I mean, you don't have to be super duper precise. There are people out there who say you sort of have to be like majorly precise, but you know, you're not going to die if you just like put a little bit too much on, a little bit too little on. Just respond to the lawn, really. That's why I often do. If it looks like it needs to be fed, I'll feed it. If it doesn't, then I won't. Now, traditionally, I'd have waited after seeding to actually feed the lawn, but more recently, I have been feeding it much more than I've done with previously newly seeded lawns. And just the main reason is because, obviously, it's been fescue. It takes, you know, a while to actually establish. Hang on, last 100 grams. It takes a while to establish, and you know, giving it the best possible chance now is what I need to sort of get it maturing, get it really thick enough, and hopefully within like a month's time I'll have a proper nicely tightly packed together sward, and then we can start reducing the amount of applications of lawn feed we're going to be obviously getting on with. So yeah, let's get on. I've got this set to setting 4 on the top and also setting 4 on the side as well. So it gives you a bit more of like a random distribution, a bit chaotic compared to the drop spreader, but it's going to hopefully mean we get a more even distribution of fertiliser across the lawn. Now, I know a lot of newly seeded lawns look amazing, but I'm telling you now, this looks absolutely boss. I mean, there's a few spaces here and there. I'll give you a top-down view in a moment to put the fertiliser down, but it just looks so tightly packed together, the sward already, and it's still, you know, only in the infancy of this lawn, you know, establishing itself. So yeah, made up without looking at the moment. No regrets so far. So yeah, let's crack on. Do you know, I've got to say, this is a boss bit of kit. You know, I've used it now around about 4 or 5 times on different lawns, and you know, the battery of one charge over the space of, you know, 3-4 weeks or so has been pretty decent. So yeah, really happy with this, and yeah, gets a nice distribution across the lawn. I mean, a little tiny bit of it's gone on the patio. I'm going to brush that off in a second, and you know, you hear a little bit when it hits the stones, and you know that's when you've gone far enough. But yeah, that's another feed down on the lawn to give you a bit of a closer look as to how everything's looking. So you can see from above there are a few spaces knocking about, but this type of grass species that we've got down, it is the type that's going to be able to creep with, you know, stolons and rhizomes. It's going to spread across the lawn, so all those little spaces are inevitably going to, you know, fill themselves in at some point. You can see I've got this part over here, which is a bit mad. Now the dog always wheezes here, and the dog always wheezes over here as well, so I was thinking maybe that's why those spaces are a little bit bare. I mean, this one dramatically, you know, more so than the others, but then you can see how much grass there is around the actual rim. Maybe, you know, the seed just washed off here when we've had a bit of rain around to that part. I'm not too sure, so maybe we need to put a bit more seed down on this space. Not too sure. We'll see how it gets on for the time being. Now, something I do want to mention as well is, you know, with this seed that I've used, there's not been many weeds that have actually come through. We've had the odd little one here and there that I've taken out, but nothing too major. I mean, when I've used the A1 Lawn Premiership Pro in the past, and I've even used their fescue mix as well, you get quite a few weeds coming through. Now, there's these, like, I couldn't even tell you the name of them. They're almost like this like spiky looking plants that comes through. And I've used A1 Lawn stuff now for around about 2 years. And a lot of the times you do get those weird plants coming through. At first I thought it was like a specific type of grass. It could be, to be honest. I've not a clue. I'd never sort of see what it's like when it matures. It tends to blend in really well with the actual lawn, because of how dark green it is compared to the ryegrass. But you find you get quite a lot of them across the lawn, and some of the ones that come up with those two little leaves, little weeds, when you like newly seed a space. But surprisingly with this, I've not really had the same sort of issues. I mean, like I said, we've had the odd one coming through. If I look in this space now, I can't see a single weed from where I'm stood. Okay, there's one here. There's one really small weed in this space, but actually, other than that, I have to pull the roots out in a sec, but it's like got 2 little leaves on it. Other than that, there's really not that many, which is surprising because, like I said, and this isn't bashing A1 Lawns at all. You know, I've loved using their stuff. I've loved using their seed. I used their seed last week on the front garden when I did like an overseeding on there, so not bashing it by any stretch, but a significant lack of weeds in this lawn, and you know, hopefully moving forward with how tightly packed the sward's going to get, we shouldn't really have many issues of that either. You'll notice as well, this bench used to be out at the front. We've put it here now in the back, and it's quite nice because I can come out in the morning before work, cup of coffee, just look at the lawn. Been watching it grow for the past 2 or 3 weeks, sitting here nearly every single morning. But it's just bossed because, I mean, from this angle over here, the stripes just look incredible. I mean, don't today because it's been obviously a day since we actually cut the lawn. But I'm hoping now, obviously we've got a bit of rain coming this week, but I'm hoping we're going to be able to get on, give this a few cuts towards the end of the week, next weekend, obviously the following week after that. I'm looking forward to seeing this lawn really sort of thicken up and looking absolutely amazing. Right, so at the time of recording, I do now have the Allet cylinder mower, so expect a few videos on that in the next few weeks. I have started to cut this lawn using it, and it's looking absolutely superb so far. So if you are interested in following along with the rest of the progress of this lawn, or even if you want to just check out any of my other sort of garden renovation videos, then head over to my channel. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And finally, thanks for watching.